Hey, Jim Powers with MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision as we continue to catch up with our coaches this week. And yet another great week for our men's lacrosse team as they take care of business on the weekend. And let's talk to our head coach of the men's lacrosse team, Scott Stark. And, Scott, what a great start on Saturday. I mean, you go out to Rockhurst, tough place to play, and you guys race out to an early 4-0 lead in the first 6 minutes of the game. And, you know, you had to kind of hang on a little bit in the fourth, but able to take care of business and get another big W in the JLVC.
Yeah, I think anytime you're playing Rockhurst, but especially when you're playing at Rockhurst, anytime that you can punch them first, it's always a good thing because Rockhurst is a tough, gritty team and they're always coming to play. So I think the fact that we just got out and got ahead early in the game, and helped us keep moving forward. And I think yes, there was a little bit of scare at the end there. They went on a run, but we fully anticipated they would at some point. But I think it was great for us, for our guys to, kind of the first real road trip of the year. I mean, it was a, 3.5 hour trip out there. And to do that in the same day is tough. So it was great to see our guys get off the bus and be able to respond pretty quickly into that game.
I mean, we talk a lot about, what our guys have done, but I think the biggest thing is the attacking unit right now for what you guys are doing. They have just absolutely came to the plate day in, day out, game in and day out, and got the job done for us.
Yeah, Jim, I think, in the previous interviews and since the fall, we talked about trying to find some answers, right? And I think that the attack unit is certainly one of those areas that we didn't necessarily understand who we were, and we're starting to figure it out. But we got some great leadership back there with Jake Foster, and then you got the youth. I mean, they're still experienced players for the program, but given the COVID year, they are youthful. So to have JMO and Ethan Olson back there and pretty much just showing up and consistent. And I think that's the biggest piece right now is we're relatively young as a team. So any consistency we can find behind our play is great. And our entire attack unit together is showing up day in and day out for our production on the offensive side of the field for sure.
National rankings are great, individual accolades are great, but to put Maryville on the map, just not only in the national rankings, but also for individual accolades. And for the third straight week, our program has had somebody, make national team of the week. Talk a little bit about Jake Sosha and just the incredible job he's done over the last month for us.
Yeah, so Jake's a kid that we moved positions when I first got in here. I've had the privilege of competing against Jake for pretty much his entire career. So, I knew what he could do, and I really felt that he could help us in the transition game. He could help us in the middle of the field, and I think his performance at Rockhurst was just kind of showing his comfort of getting into that position and playing it. And he's been great. I mean, he's been great off the ground. He's been great on the defensive side of the field, but he certainly showcased in that game that he can push the ball as well as defend. And he did a great job. And he was a big piece of why, him and Declan Mulholland were great pieces of why we got up in that game, is because we pushed the transition a little bit early in that game. And those two really came to bat, those two and Parker Lee just in the middle of the field helped us tremendously in that game. But yeah, I mean, you speak of it, you had Jake Foster and Mitch Kay on the USILA Team of the Week the prior 2 weeks, and to have 3 consecutive players on that just kind of showcases the statement that we're making, right? Is that we're coming out, we're competing each week, and you certainly can't take us lightly. And when we're connecting, we have some players that can play with the best. And so, it's just great. I mean, it's great for our guys to build confidence, but it's also really awesome for just our entire community of Maryville Lacrosse, our parents, our alumni, just to be able to kind of see this program really kind of find some consistency, because we've had success in the past. But I think to put it all together and find consistency throughout a couple of weeks early in the season certainly, gets our name out there and starts putting us on a little bit of a pedestal, a little bit for ourselves. But, it's just been a lot of fun. Exposure's been great. And I think that helps in a lot of different areas. And it's just really exciting for the guys to go through, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys get to come home this week, play a home game, talk a little bit about Lewis and what they're going to bring to the table on Saturday afternoon down at Maryville, down at the complex.
Hats off to Lewis and Coach Peruzzi up there. I don't know if I've ever approached a week where I've had more parents and more alumni and more people in the lacrosse community reach out to me and tell me to watch out for such a young program. You know, Coach Joe Peruzzi up there he's a young head coach. He certainly stepped into that program and built it from nothing. Right, they're a 2-year-old program, and he's the first head coach of the program. He's done awesome things. They played in some really close game. They're battle tested. So I really think that, you know, what the community's seeing is just what we're seeing, right? Is that they're gonna come in and they're going to try to play that team that's going to come out and not really care what the rankings are, right? They've been battle tested. They played close with top ranked teams. And so they don't care that there's a number next to our name, and they're going to come in and battle with us. And so it should be an exciting game. You know, and they're gritty as well. I mean, they're athletic, bunch of, you know, they're similar to us where they have some attackers that, you know, come from the box background and are Canadians, international kids. And so, you know, they match us with skill set, certainly with stick skills. And then, you know, I think athletically is something that they pride themselves in, and being gritty off the ground. So it'll be an exciting game for sure. And we're certainly not overlooking them, because they've certainly proven to themselves and to the community that they can play with the best. So it'll be an exciting game.
No doubt about it. Well, thanks so much for your time, Coach. I know it's a busy time. Going to be great to get you guys back home on Saturday afternoon at 2:00 down at the complex, and we'll have a lot of fun watching the boys take on Lewis.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Scott Stark, our men's lacrosse coach, joins us, and once again, Saturday afternoon, 2:00 down at the athletic complex, our men's lacrosse team will take on Lewis. We'll have all the action for you on Saints Vision and the JLVC Sports Network. If you can't watch it there, follow us on Twitter at Maryville Saints. We'll keep you updated all afternoon long on how our men's lacrosse team, our nationally ranked men's lacrosse team, is doing against Lewis this coming weekend. For Coach, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week. And as always, go Saints.